Good afternoon and happy Monday, everyone. Here's a great story from Bounding into Comics about, well, everyone's favorite topic, Batman, and what a bunch of new people are going to do with it. Oh, I can't wait. What new spin are they going to do with the biggest name in comics ever? Well, let's see. DC Comics reveals gay Alfred and Chinese-American Bruce Wayne and more franchise-killing abominations. I can't wait to read about this. Now, if you don't know where this came from, this was announced from the DC YouTube channel. And Gotham High, what a great idea. Let's put Bruce Wayne in high school. That'll be great. I can't wait to see a moody Bruce Wayne billionaire kid. That's just, what a great idea. So they interviewed this person who's the creator. Melissa De La Cruz and illustrator Thomas Petilli spoke with the magazine about their upcoming graphic Gotham High that EW describes as Batman meets Gossip Girl. Wow, who knew anyone ever wanted to have Batman and Gossip Girl? I will tell you, I have never met a single person who thought what a great idea that would be. I can't wait to have a melodrama, a comedy romance. What is this nonsense? I have no idea. No one wants this. And if you tell by the downvotes here, it's not happening. The interview began with De La Cruz admitting she has no clue about Batman. What a perfect person to hire. Someone who doesn't know anything about the source material. That's great. She states, my husband is a big Batman fan, so when DC called and said, we want to do a young adult line, what character do you want to do? And of course, for some reason, she wanted to do Batman? Of course you did. It's such a fun, iconic character that I could put my own spin on it. All right. I guess it's like, hey, here's the Star Wars world. What do you want to do? I want Darth Vader. I want to do my own spin on Darth Vader. It's like, no, you don't. And Jesus, New York Times bestseller. Yeah, anyone could do that. Let's see. So these three characters, this is the Joker, in case you don't know. This is, I believe, Catwoman. And this is our Chinese-American Bruce Wayne. And this is a cat or a dog, or I don't know. I can't quite tell. Petilli did express his knowledge of the character, admitting he grew up watching Batman, the animated series. Okay, so this is the artist. So artists, I'll give them some leeway because they're just being paid to draw whatever the writer comes up with. I grew up on the Batman animated series cartoon back in the 90s, so ever since then I was hooked. All right, I loved it too. As far as superheroes go growing up, he was always my number one. So for me to get to work on any incarnation of Batman, it's a dream come true. I think it would be a dream for anyone because it's frickin' Batman. Sadly, it's the retarded version of not Batman. So, after admitting she has no clue about Batman, De La Cruz then details her lack of knowledge doesn't matter because she's radically altering the character anyway. Oh dear. You see, I don't mind if you're changing Batman and you come from a background of getting what Batman is, like the motivation, why he wants to control everything, why he's so moody, and you could probably see that maybe in the Gotham series that was on TV a while back. I watched that, I think for the first, not even the first season, but I thought, hey, this is treating Batman with some respect. You know, they're not going crazy. They're not doing Freak of the Week or something that you would see on Smallville, but it's slowly getting into the world of Gotham, which is what the story is about. So as soon as season 2 or season 3 came by, I was like, this is really not for me because I was happy with the first season of young Bruce after his parents' death and what Alfred had to do and the friends he might meet and the things he gets into. That was fine because you're not doing too much to the lore. You're not breaking things. Plus, the story wasn't that much about Bruce anyway. It's about Gotham, which is great. So you can get away with stuff like that and tell little pockets of story around the Batman mythos. This is changing the mythos. This is an entirely different character. And this is a bad idea for those obvious reasons. Bruce Wayne is the billionaire. He's the richest man alive. So I thought, wouldn't it be fun if his family was Chinese and from Hong Kong? That made it feel real because, you can't have billionaires in the States or Europe or any other part of the world. It's because she's Chinese or from Hong Kong, I guess. And no offense to the Chinese or the Hong Kong, you've now created a new character. It's not Batman. It could work though. It could work. I mean, if you get the right plot and flaws and reasons why Bruce is the way he is, it could work. I will give it to that. I will give the benefit of a doubt. These things could work out. But just hearing this as a premise is just a bad idea. De la Cruz then details she's basically telling an autobiography. Okay, this is where we get things screwed up. A writer should not be telling an autobiography, especially when you're talking about a superhero or a character like Batman. This is a recipe for disaster. As soon as you start doing character inserts and start slightly altering the character to be more ethnic towards you or more moody or more thought or have more political views as you or whatever, things are going to go awry very quickly. Her autobiography of her using her own life using DC comic characters. There's been a big influx of wealthy Chinese people who moved from Hong Kong to Arcadia in Los Angeles. All right. And that's where my mom lives. I'm part Chinese. My brother lives in Hong Kong, so I thought it would be great to put what I know into Bruce Wayne. I just wanted him to be a little bit more representative of my background and giving him an authentic family. Okay, so you might argue, well, write what you know, and you think that's a good idea. Sure, that's a solid understanding. You have knowledge of Hong Kong. You have knowledge of Chinese immigrants. Great. That's not Bruce Wayne. I'm sorry. You really have to know Bruce Wayne to get into him by actually reading the comics and then saying, it'd be really smart if I convert this background, like give maybe Bruce's mom or dad an Asian background or a partially Asian background, and then work that into the Wayne mythos. Sure, go for it. That could work. But here we don't know what she's trying to do with it. She's just saying, hey, you know what? I'm from China, or I have a partially Chinese background. My brother's from Hong Kong. I can write about Hong Kong in the States for some stupid reason. It's just, you don't do these, folks. This is not how you do things. As for how Bruce becomes a billionaire, a preview of the graphic novel indicates the money came from his mom and his mom alone. Okay, so here we're going even further back and changing how the Waynes made their money. Before Masha Dean became Martha Wayne, she was the most beautiful girl in Hong Kong and from the richest family. All right, so she was just a rich person from Hong Kong, essentially. And of course, we're talking about Hong Kong, so it couldn't have been that long ago, the inception of Hong Kong. So it has to be modern times, as we know Hong Kong to be one of the more freer marketplaces in the world. So there's lots of people who live there, who were born there, who own real estate, and now the real estate is in high value, so that's why they're rich. There's all kinds of ways to make great money in Hong Kong if you are a crazy, workaholic, nutsy, busy person. You can do it. I mean, if you think it's busy in New York, you think it's busy in Toronto, it is twice as crazy over there. And the rental space is very tiny. Combine that with all the politics going on, combine that with all the virus stuff happening. Wow, what a crazy time to live in Hong Kong. Amazing place. Few knew it was her money that started Wayne Enterprises. So here we're going. It's all about her. My Chinese mom, influence, rich aunt or whatever, made Wayne Enterprises what it was. According to sources, everything fell apart the night they went to see Madame Butterfly. What started as a perfect evening soon became a night of terror. When they got home, the thieves were everywhere. See, in this case, this I actually enjoy because they're turning the story of Wayne and his mom and dad going to the movies to see, I think it was The Mask of Zorro, could have been something else, and they turned it into Madame Butterfly. It's like, oh, okay, that's an opera. That's what rich people might do. And it's, as if you know anything about operas are usually tragedy. In this case, Madame Butterfly is Puccini. He is the king of tragedies. So this is a kind of change I can get behind because there's reason behind it, as opposed to The Mask of Zorro, which is or The Grey Ghost or something like that, which is just an action show for Bruce that he liked, and his parents took him out to see that. So this is something I could get behind because the rich do go to opera. This is what we know of the rich. They go to see the best kind of music in the world, and that is live opera, according to them. And voila, Madame Butterfly. I believe it's a story of an American marrying a Japanese young lady, which ends in tragedy. So great. See, this good setup, good trend, or good juxtaposition between Asian and the mythos of Bruce Wayne. See, this is good. This I will get behind. She then admits that Alfred will be gay. You're like, oh God, here we go. So it's like one good thing, and then everything else is crap. You know? She states Alfred is not just his butler, but also his uncle, his gay uncle from Hong Kong. It gives it this fabulous, crazy rich Asians sheen to it, which no one wants. And no offense to the people who love Crazy Rich Asian movie. I haven't seen it. I'm sure it's fantastic and fun and cute. But yeah, not so great in the world of Batman, which is serious and dark and moody and brooding, and a boy who wants to control all the pain in his life by disciplining his mind and body for a decade before coming back and then enacting his will upon Gotham City. Not exactly great grounds for a a high school rom-com, let's just say. If it wasn't clear this entire book was about pandering, Patilli details, so it's back to the artist, that breathes new life into the character, especially in today's world, since we're living in the most diverse world we've probably ever lived in. So it's more representative of Batman in 2020. My God, is this guy an idiot? What a sad thing to say about it. This because we're living in a diverse world today. Therefore, it's more representative of Batman in 2020. If I remember correctly, Batman was all about having a gothic story, a noir story in a city reminiscent of New York of the 1920s, which was overrun by crime to the hilt. So take New York in the 20s, the roaring 20s, and crank it as far as you can go. There's all sorts of black market deals. There's all sorts of gangs, all sorts of gangsters running around, vying for power, and people get shot in the streets like it's a daily occurrence. That's the idea. It's dark, it's dirty, it's gritty. It's not happy, funny billionaires going to high school, prep school or whatever. He adds, and since he's a teenager, I tried my best to put a little bit of myself into the character as well, channeling those feelings of being an adolescent and feeling like an outsider. I definitely wasn't a billionaire, but sometimes I felt very separated from everyone else around me. Again, that's okay. Just, we're talking about a kid who is so alienated. He has already made up his mind to become the Batman. In his head, he's already there. He just has to go through the ropes. He has to train his mind and body to do amazing things. So imagine Bruce Wayne growing up and if you read the actual comics of Batman, he's pretty much a genius at everything. He's just dedicated himself to learning and discipline. So what are you going to tell a story about Bruce Wayne? He wouldn't give a crap about anything except studying and getting the hell out of that prep school so he can go travel the world and become an assassin/detective genius. When asked on what her inspiration for the story was, well, it certainly wasn't Batman. De La Cruz admits she wanted to reinvent Chuck Bass, a prominent character from Gossip Girl. I don't know who the hell she's talking to, but already this is a trash pile, if this is her inspiration. I pitched a kind of Gossip Girl Batman. Oh my God. And in my mind, I wanted to reinvent Chuck Bass. He's still Bruce Wayne. It's not The Great Gatsby, so he's still brooding. He's still a loner. He still has all that iconic Batman personality. How could he have an iconic Batman personality when he's not Batman yet? So this is our Asian American Bruce Wayne, I guess. You okay? Where'd you learn to fight like that? Tell Master Zhang I sent you? What the hell kind of conversation is this? Are you telling me Bruce Wayne was training in martial arts before he left to train for martial arts? Did Gabe Butler did his Gabe Butler teach him anything? She added, but making him Chinese was a no-brainer. Everyone was on board from the beginning. I want to know who these people are. I want to know who these DC people are who hired this lady and who are on board with her ideas. Please tell me. Patilli was much more upfront, admitting the entire slate was wiped clean. Yeah. From an artistic standpoint, the history of Bruce Wayne and Batman was essentially wiped clean. I wasn't held down in any way to one specific thing. Well, that's fine artistically, visually, but this also tells us this isn't Batman anymore. This is some retarded fanfic version of Batman. I would say it's probably an Elseworlds thing, and they should have just called it Elseworlds. That would have been fine. This is an Elseworlds comic. What if Batman existed today in preppy Los Angeles or whatever? You're like, great, it's an Elseworlds comic. Great. But this, oof. Okay, it's not just Batman and Bruce Wayne that are being radically altered, but Joker as well. So there's so much of that Instagram culture and social media culture with teens today. So I tried to interject that into the style and the look of the characters, specifically with the Joker character. Yay! Let's change everyone. So here's Jack Napier, and that's one of the alter egos or one of the various incarnations of the Joker. Okay. He then admits he modeled the character on his own look. Okay, here's we're getting into dangerous territory again. It's one thing to have a writer on board moment, or for the writer to blatantly state, oh yeah, I'm using my own personal experiences and putting myself into my character. It's another thing for an artist to say, oh yeah, I just drew myself. Now, that could be good, that could be bad. For example, I think of Adam Jensen and JJB. Adam Jensen, if you don't know, from Eidos Montreal, Adam Jensen looks very much like JJB. Here you go. We can see that properly. Where's a picture? Oh, geez, where did I? There he is. There he is. Here's the man. So the hair's cut, the facial structure, the nose, like it's all pretty much the same, right? Wow. What an easy job for an artist. Just draw yourself. In that regard, it's not a big deal because Adam is his own character. That's fine. It's just when you start doing crap like this, you realize that these guys are out of ideas and they don't know what they're doing. Anytime you start doing self-inserts into your own work, you are out of ideas. This is a slippery slope. You can get away with it, as in the case with Adam Jensen, but when you use iconic characters and you want to reinvent them somehow, and you just start putting yourself in there, it's like, okay, you're doing it wrong. You don't need to reinvent the wheel that much, okay? Delacruz then details... It gets worse, people, okay? Delacruz then details the main focus of this story is a love story. She explains, I wanted to write about a young Bruce Wayne, so obviously there's going to be a love story. Why? Why would a young Bruce Wayne fall in love? Just tell me that. This is a brooding, angry man, young man. He wants to go away and become an agent of vengeance against the criminal world of Gotham. Why is it going to be a love story? Please tell me. The Joker's pretty hot, so he's got to be in there. That's where I started. So this guy is hot. Bruce is... I'm not sure if that's a good depiction of an Asian American, I guess. Okay, all right. This is, I'm assuming, Bruce and Selena running away. Look, here's more. I always remember this quote from Truman Capote's In Cold Blood. Okay, that's interesting. If you don't know In Cold Blood, that is I think it's almost a real life story of a murder, was it 4 deaths or 5 murders? I can't remember the story of In Cold Blood. I think it was some farmyard murder. I can't recall. Where he's talking about the killers. This is Truman Capote. Where he's talking about the killers, and he says something like, "We came from the same place, but I walked out the front door, and he walked out the back door. There's this feeling that they're the same person, just with different circumstances." Okay. I wanted to put that in the Batman-Joker dynamic. They're almost the same person, but Bruce has all this privilege, and Jack has, again, privilege. Here we go. The language they're using. What background in politics and feminism and intersectionality do you think these people are in when you're using a word like privilege? What does that do to who they become? And then there's a girl in the middle, the hottest girl to ever walk the halls of the school. What does she want? Well, she apparently wants to be with Bruce. Great mystery. Thanks for that panel. Mystery solved. She adds, it came out of trying to figure out all their desires. What does Jack bring to Selena that's different from what Bruce brings to Selena? I don't give a flying crap. Ultimately, you don't know who she's going to pick. Ultimately, I still don't give a flying crap. You root for both of them, and there's a surprise at the end. Well, looks like it's Bruce, because I don't know, you're showing us pictures of Bruce and Selena. I would love to play a little more. We have minor characters that we can get to know a bit more, like Poison Ivy and Harvey, of course. And I don't think it's the last we'll see of Selena, Jack, and Bruce either. I'm hoping to do more of Jack's story in the second book. Oh, there's going to be more. You see, if this was an Elseworlds, I would be like, great, yeah, whatever. DC, waste, $10,000, $20,000, go crazy. We don't care, do it. But no, it's a big story because they have a trailer bullshit that no one's going to buy. And we barely even saw Robin. This is boring crap, derivative nonsense. Anyway, it's just sad to see this. The most famous, most beloved character trying to be reinvented with left-leaning political isms. It's silly. It won't sell well. It'll be sad and depressing. And just hearing about it is sad and depressing. Anyway, thanks for listening, guys. Hope you're having a better day than I just had.